Hey guys, welcome into today's video. Today we're going to be playing with an indie brand called Cara Beauty. They've actually had a couple of new releases lately that have caught my eye, but I have heard of this brand before. I just picked up a couple of things. It's not a full face or anything. Let me tell you a little bit about the brand. So Cara Beauty is an indie brand that is based out of Los Angeles. They did start in 2011. They have a mid-range price point on like most of their items, and I have tried one of their eyeshadow palettes before. So it's not necessarily like new to me. I did have one of their pro palettes. This one is called the Cara Duo. I picked this one up in TJ Maxx. I did talk about that palette in my ranking 72 palettes that I tried in 2022, and this one was in there. It was fairly high. It was like in the middle. Just for reference, like the mattes in here are really, really good. I think some of the shimmers are like toppers and they're a little bit inconsistent, but I wanted to test their eyeshadow formula again. So there are 3 new releases and 2 that are not new releases. In case you were curious, you guys, they're cream blushes. I couldn't help myself. That's really the reason that I placed the order. So that is it, you guys. Let's jump right into it. Their brand is completely cruelty free. It's all vegan. All of their products are made in China, you guys. So something to note on that. I think we will start with the eyeshadow palette. I did do my foundation, so I don't remember there ever being any fallout with any of the mattes or shimmers when I tried their other formula. They have so many palettes on their website. What I picked up was the Capricorn palette. I don't know what spoke to me. I guess it was just the color story. I just want to take a second really quickly and just mention indie brand packaging overall is the best. You'd think like these high-end brands would have some of the best packaging, but the most care is taken with indie brand packaging. It's just every inch is like padded and like foamed, and the products are usually wrapped individually. So I want to make mention to Cara Beauty on that. Their packaging was really, really good. I order a lot of stuff, so so that is always something that I'm kind of looking at. In case you were curious, they do have good packaging. So like I said, let's go into the eyeshadow palette first. Here's the color story. I'm not sure what drew me to this, but it did. I am not a Capricorn, in case you guys were wondering. It's just that the color story looked quite delightful. The packaging is very, very cute. I think probably why I wanted to get this is that I tried one of their pro palettes and they're just on the bigger side, and I'm not really a fan of bigger palettes. Here is the color story here. So it looks like it's an even ratio between mattes and shimmers. There's 5 mattes to 5 shimmers. No mirror in here, but it has a little saying at the top. I want to go ahead and swatch some of these shimmers just to see what the formula is like. I think we'll even swatch some of the mattes. Here is the first, well, it was kind of chunky, wasn't it? The first shimmer shade. It's really pretty. That one was on the chunkier side. So yeah, I noticed this with their other palette. The formulation on the shimmers is not identical. You get some inconsistencies. I mean, super light reflecting, very, very smooth on that green one. Just that the white one was very chunky, and that is what I found with their pro palette. This one here almost kind of feels like a topper. I could be wrong, but it feels very, very light. Let's just swatch one more shimmer. This one looks really pretty. This was the goldy one, orange one. All right, I'm gonna swatch this blue matte here because I wanna do a colorful look. Here's the blue matte. Pretty good pigmentation. I'm all over the place with blues. I find that blues can be very tricky to formulate. Let's do a pinky blue look. So I'm gonna start, I think, with this pink one as a transition. We'll see how pigmented it is. And I'm definitely like deepening it with these 2 shades, not sure just what yet. I'm gonna go in with these 2 shimmers right here. So I'm gonna start with this pink shade. I don't think I'm gonna speed through this. I am picking this up on a BK Beauty 201 brush. I have been liking this. I picked up 3 of their eyeshadow brushes recently. I have had other BK Beauty brushes in the past, but I wanted to just get a few more eyeshadow brushes for my collection, really. Not collection necessarily, but just the ones that I have to choose from. I like mix and matching, you know, affordable kind of high-end brushes. That was so pigmented, I don't even need to really blend anymore. Now just going into an eye blender brush from Essence. I told you, I like to mix and match, I really do. These mattes are very, very pigmented. So, you know, I don't think you need a lot. They're also really blendable. Usually with my hooded eyes and like the extra skin that I have going here, these darker shades, they will like start to get a little bit patchy as I drag them across some of my skin, but then sometimes I have trouble just blending them in. The better the matte, obviously, like the smoother the blend as I keep going. And this one seems to be pretty good. Next, I'm going into a BK Beauty 206 brush, And I'm actually gonna mix the purple and the blue together. I'm gonna start like building down in the outer corner. This is where I'll need to clean up. Wow, those mattes are delightful. They're so easy to work with. So I'm pretty sure what I want to do is take this tealish blue. I mean, it kind of looks tealish blue. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a deeper blue than that. And I'm gonna go in the center of my lid, and then I'm going to take, I actually think this pink shade, like towards the inner part of the lid. And I'm just gonna do that with my finger. I think that'll look nice. Look at this blue. It is gorgeous, you guys. Quite pigmented. Most of the shimmers that I swatched are actually on the softer side. They're not chunky like that first one that I swatched, which is the whitest shimmer. You guys, there is virtually no fallout. I almost did no cleanup on this. It's very, very pretty. The shadows, they just, I don't know, they make sense. They work together. They're very pigmented. They don't overblend. They're really good quality. Just note that there are different textures or different formulations in the shimmer formula, which is exactly what I found with the Pro palette, but it still is really, really good. Of course, I'll be listing all of these in the description box so you can see how much these range for, but they're not, like I said, overly expensive. They're definitely mid-price range. That's probably why I ended up getting a smaller palette, just to test out some more colorful shadows from them without kind of breaking the bank. Just overall good quality, fun color story on that one. This one that I have that's in the Pro palette is much more neutral. So I do know that they have like neutral palettes in their line. This is kind of an everyday palette for me. But yeah, the shimmer formula just isn't consistent. Not necessarily consistent, it's just that some of the formulas themselves are like toppers. All right, I just went and threw on some lashes. I'd like to say it was really quick, but I was trying new lashes and it was not fast. I ended up having to cut them down a couple of times. So I'm actually gonna go into the lower lash line. I'm gonna take this deep navy blue and then I'm gonna pair it with this pink. I think we'll just start with the deeper blue in the outer corner, and then I'm gonna work the lighter pink into most of the under eye. Okay, I took it about halfway for each color. Now I'm gonna go into one of my statement gel liners from Moira Beauty, and I'm just gonna fill in the waterline. And this one is in the shade 17 Royal Blue. I actually really like those liners. I have a ton in like a bunch of different colors. Those are new releases from Moira Beauty. I'm gonna go into my MAC Stack mascara for the lower lash line. Okay, now that eyeshadow is complete, the other 4 products that I have, I showed you guys, were the 2 cream blushes, and I got 2 different shades. And then I picked up a highlighter that isn't a new release. This one just looked really good. This was the Dazzling Lights. I really like this outer packaging, but I also picked up something else that was a new release. This is one of their Illuminating powders. So I think this is kind of a hybrid blush slash highlighter. I'm not entirely certain, but I think I'm gonna try and use it as a highlighter. I think that's what I bought it for. I intended to get it as a highlighter, but I think that it can be used as like a blush or a highlighter or just kind of a blush topper. It's like a box packaging. This one is called Fluorescent Rose. Like I said, this one was a new release. It says Dye For You Illuminating Powder. So just a little box packaging, very cool. I guess this kind of reminds me of like those Too Faced boxed style packaging. This looks, oh, this is pretty. This is like something that you could use for like an eyeshadow even, or like a really illuminating blush. I think I really will use this as a highlighter today. It's very smooth, quite light reflecting. It's a pretty shade. Like overall, if you're gonna use this for a highlighter and you like this kind of shade, I think it is very beautiful. It had some swirls in it, but once I swatched it, it was pretty much gone. Let's go into these blushes. So these are called the Soft Serve Lip and Cheek Whips. I'm not as sure what I'm expecting. I think like a moussier formula. So the 2 shades that I got were Cherry on Top, and the one that is more orangey or coral is called Cara Mousse. Here is the outer packaging. It's just a plastic container. That's an interesting texture. I can't wait to touch this. Oh, yep, it's a full-on mousse formula. So super, super whipped. Here's the swatch. You're gonna get a lot of pigment out of this. Let's rub it in and see. A little bit goes a long way. Highly pigmented. I have been really into putty or like mousse blushes lately, so I'm actually really excited to try this. It's so soft. It's the softest whipped blush that I've ever tried. Like, so soft. You guys, this is basically like a powder. It's totally like a powder finish, and look how pigmented it is on my fingers. It's definitely just a cream to powder formula, but something that I think would probably stain. Yeah, it's fairly staining. I mean, you can get it off, but it's got a good amount of lasting power to it, which is something that I like. We're gonna have to be careful when putting this on because it's so pigmented and it's so creamy and emollient that it's gonna pick up a lot. I barely tapped my brush in, just in case you guys are wondering. Like, I was like, don't do it. Like, I was really, really light-handed. So no luminosity on this, full matte finish, because it's that cream to powder formula. You could totally build this up. Like, I barely tapped my brush in. I wish that I could describe just how like I don't want to dent the product, but it is so creamy and so soft that it's like, I can't even, like, it has oils in it or something. It's just so soft. It's the most soft putty I've ever felt. And I don't even think I can describe it like putty. Like this, it's calling itself soft serve. It almost feels like you're putting your finger into ice cream. I am not going to build it up anymore or I will look like a crazy person. I don't know how different these shades are. This one is the Cara Mousse, which is the more orangey shade. By the way, these are extremely hard to get out of the package. I was out here cussing up a storm. Here is the color on the other one. This is much deeper than actually I thought it was gonna be. It literally feels like you're putting your hand in a milkshake. I think maybe that's what it's like. Very, very orange color. Or a soft serve, I guess. I don't know what a soft serve is. I'm assuming it's like a Frosty from Wendy's or something like that. Is that what a soft serve is? I'm gonna go in with another pretty fluffy brush and barely tap this in because this is a super vibrant color. And that's that side. I like both of the shades. I feel like I was getting more pigmentation out of the red one and not as much out of this one. And so I feel like they're just slightly uneven. So I was trying to build this side up a little bit more. I mean, it's a nice blush. It's just interesting texture. I don't think you guys will have ever felt something so soft. I mean, maybe you will. It's just not something that I've ever felt this soft before. I'm telling you guys, it's literally like putting your finger in a Frosty or whatever a soft serve is. I'm gonna leave it like that. It's really cool. Like, don't get me wrong, this is definitely a very interesting product and I'm glad that I got these because I don't know, I'm just interested in trying a lot of blushes recently. I know that they don't necessarily match the eye look, but that's what you get when you're testing stuff. I don't really care. I hope you guys don't mind. I do want to go into, I think, the highlighter that wasn't the new release first. All of their packaging is just so different. So here's the packaging on this highlighter. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. No wonder I bought this. If you guys have ever seen any of my videos where I talk about highlighters, when they shift yellow, oh, it's my favorite. I don't know, oh, it's like butter, you guys. It's legit like butter. Man, their stuff is so soft. Oh, it's a pure yellow highlighter. Aw, it's my favorite. You guys see how pigmented this is? Can I keep going? Wow. It is so soft and smooth. It feels like water. Just water. How do you even describe this any other way? Their stuff is like some of the most soft I've ever like swatched ever. But yeah, I can definitely see why I would have picked this up. Pure yellow is my thing. Which side should we do the pure yellow? Let's go ahead and go on the left side. Oh, it's yellow just like I like it. Don't get me wrong, it is some gold in there, right? But like it mostly is a yellow highlighter. It's super punchy. This has a lot of glitters in it though. It kind of sits on top of the skin, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't like fully sink into the skin or like into the back of my hand, but it's a beautiful like yellow shade. By the way, this one is called Diamond Light, if I didn't mention that before, which I think is very fitting for its color. I think we're gonna use the same brush and I'm just gonna like switch it off. And then let's go into this one that's Luminescent Rose and we'll put it on the other side. I almost feel like it would have been better having put the more pinky highlighter on the pink blush, but who cares? This one's much more like natural looking. Oh, I think you guys would like this if you're into like a more natural highlighter. It still has like an icy shift to it, but this doesn't have a really pink undertone. So you do get a lot of like the iciness, and this looks actually really pretty. And this one appears to kind of like sink into the skin a little bit more. These are both beautiful. I just did a highlighter ranking video and I had 47 highlighters. Yes, did I need to add more to my collection? No, I did not. But I couldn't help myself. This was the new release. It looked beautiful. I initially had my eyes on these soft serve ones, but when this recently launched, which I think was just a couple of days ago, this is what drew me to the site to finally pull the trigger, and then I saw this and couldn't help myself and needed to try like a smaller eyeshadow formula. So far, even though they're all very different, like this one much more natural, still very beautiful. This one not so natural, but also very beautiful. This is just my jam right here. It can be glitter and that's okay, but the yellow is just my favorite. By the way, you guys, I did want to mention that I just went to their site recently, like again, and they're actually having 30% off site-wide for their Memorial Day sale. I didn't get anything, I think 30% off. I think I paid full price for everything because I got everything before the sale started. So if you guys are interested, of course I am going to be linking everything in the description box, and it does say it right on their site, but if there is a code, I will list it in the description box. That was everything that I wanted to try. I actually think it was a really good quality. I did say last year that I was going to try and spend more time trying indie brands. I don't know if I've purchased as much indie brand makeup this year so far, and we're like halfway through, as much as I have wanted to, but I am glad that I got to try this particular brand. Eyeshadow quality is great. Blush formula was very different. Highlighter's also quite unique on this one anyway. I don't have anything quite like it. So I'm glad that I got these. I'm glad that I added them to my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're not a current subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing. I am out of here, you guys, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.